Hi, my name is Chris Stoddard. I am a DARE Extension Master Gardner volunteer. This presentation is about the hibiscus shrubs that grow well here on the Outer Banks. Now, there are at least 200 distinct species of hibiscus in the world. Very few are native to the Outer Banks, but what we have are wonderful plants to grow and enjoy. Today, we'll talk briefly about 5 hibiscus that will thrive here. Hibiscus mosquitos, which is the most common, has many names, such as crimson-eyed hibiscus, rose mallow, and many others. It is a native perennial shrub that can grow from 18 inches to 8 feet tall, depending on the variety. It loves the full sun, but will tolerate partial shade. Normally, it grows in wetlands, but is moderately drought tolerant once established and will do well in sandy soil. Hibiscus can be used in the landscape in many different ways, as a shrub, a specimen plant, a temporary floral hedge, and in rain gardens or moist areas. It also grows well in containers. Deer are not particularly fond of it, but may nibble on it when food is scarce. Hibiscus mosquitus is an underused showstopper. It is a hardy, tough plant which is mildly salt resistant, so it would not do well near the beach unless given protection from the salt-laden wind. Once established, it can withstand short periods of drought. It grows rapidly and requires very little maintenance. In early spring, when the temperatures begin to warm up, you can cut last year's stems down to the ground. As the temperatures do warm, buds will appear in the soil, growing into stems. Please do not cut down the stems till in the fall. Healthy plants grown in the proper environment usually do not have problems and do not need staking. Hibiscus will resist most diseases and insect attacks. But of course, there's the Japanese beetles and grasshoppers that can severely damage the leaves. Picking them off and placing them in a jar of soapy water is the best way to get rid of them. Because the flowers of the hibiscus attract so many pollinators, it is really not a good idea to use an insecticide. Now, nurseries have improved on nature, producing knock your socks off blooms the size of dinner plates and an incredible color palette. Smaller border plants, which only reach 3 to 4 feet high, include Plum Crazy and Copper King, which also has complementary purple foliage. Hibiscus mosquitos is a plant that offers something for every gardener. Hibiscus Fireball is a hardy hibiscus with a showy 10-inch flower that blooms from June through August. It matures at 4 feet high. It loves the full sun with moist soil, and of course, it is not very drought tolerant. What is great about this plant is it does thrive in our heat and humidity and attracts all types of pollinators, especially bees. The scarlet swamp hibiscus, commonly known as Texas star, is a southeastern native hibiscus. The southeastern native hibiscus also, the flowers are a brilliant red with petals more separated than other hibiscus flowers. Individual flowers only last a day, but new blooms appear throughout the summer into the fall. Of course, the plant will die back to ground level in the winter, but resprout in the spring. It can reach heights of 7 feet under the right conditions. They prefer full sun and moist soil. They are not tolerant of drought. It can self-seed from seed produced in the fall. Confederate rose, Hibiscus mutabilis, are large shrubs, and they grow pretty well in North Carolina. Of course, the tops will die back, and the plant will grow each spring from the base. Confederate roses are not native to the South. They come from China, but they thrive in the South anywhere that they have time to open their very late flowers before fall frost. Of course, the height varies from about 8 to 15 feet. Now, there are several color forms, including one called blood on the rose, which opens white, changes to a deep pink that is almost red by the second day after opening. All 3 bloom colors may appear on the plant at the same time. According to legend, it gets its name from the flowers soaking up the blood spilled on Confederate battlefields. There are double pink types as well as double white and single pink and whites. The 4 to 6 inch wide flowers open in September or October. Now, Confederate rose is an eye-catching foliage plant, even before bloom, with large, soft, gray-green leaves. Swamp rose mallow is an herbaceous, shrub-like perennial, and it's more of a wetland plant. It is known for its showy, fragrant flowers that can be up to 10 inches wide. Blooms open at night and only last for a day. These blooms are ongoing all during the summer. Now, it can grow to a height of up to 10 to 15 feet, and it thrives in our warm temperatures. Of course, it dies back to the ground each winter. Growth sprouts again in spring, and more stalks emerge with each year's new growth. You can use this plant in full to partial sun, in moist to wet soils around ponds, streams, swamps, or bogs. It can also be used in a container. Now, hibiscus is a great shrub to add to your landscape. It offers a tropical-like look to the garden, as well as attracting pollinators. Deer do not especially like it. Here are some of the resources for this presentation. If you have any questions about this plant or any gardening questions, please call Ask a Master Gardener at 252-473-4290 or email us at greenlineobx@gmail.com. Thank you for listening.